What's Your Position podcast is intended for a mature audience. Listener discretion is advised. On today's episode, we're talking to Athena Gale, sex writer, toy tester for Arya, and good girl. Do you guys want to hear a joke?
Yes.
What do bondage enthusiasts use to do their laundry?
Oh, no.
It's got to be the clothespins, right?
Oh, that's a good one, but no, it's Tide Pods.
Oh.
Tide Pods. And now, with love from Huntington Beach, your host, Ashley Weller.
Welcome, fellow humans, to a full frontal episode. Live and in person. Live. Why, Mia?
Because season 5 is live, baby.
Season 5 is live. And so we have another amazing human being from Arya because we love Arya so fucking much.
Yes, we do.
They are our greatest and most gigantic affiliate that we have ever had on this podcast. And Arya, if you don't know, is a subscription service for couples to spice up their sex life and bring passion, intimacy, conversation, kink, soft kink, sexy time, fun adventures back into the bedroom. Whether you are married for the last 50 years, whether you have been dating for a month, whether you are single and want to just spice up your first date. Arya is really an incredible source of cultivation for intimate relationships and learning new things about yourself and about your partner. And they really take the guesswork out. They make it easy for you. You don't have to go buy anything. You don't have to look up how to do something. You don't have to initiate the conversation. You literally, Arya does it all for you, from having a personalized concierge to help walk you through the beginning of the box to having a personalized podcast. Ma'am. Our guest today, Athena, not only tests the toys that come in your, well, she doesn't test your box toys, but she does test the toys that come in the boxes that you play with, but she also builds the playlists and the music that you listen to. She also helps write the erotic scenes surrounding the boxes that you're going to get. And today we are going to dive deep into what she does at Arya and how this has changed her marriage and how she has been able to embrace a side of herself and her husband has been able to embrace a side of himself. And their marriage has developed because of the work that she does. Athena is a sex copywriter. She also works magic with businesses in their email blasts and in their publications and helping them get seen by potential customers and potential business partners. She works with up and coming, mostly sex tech startups and sexual pleasure brands like Miss Bloom, The Feel, Love After War, and of course, our homies, Arya. She also works with sex coaches, helping them compile crafty and beautifully worded and really intelligent ways of explaining sex and sexuality. She is passionate about the kink community and promoting great sex lives, and she firmly believes that if everybody has an orgasm a day, their life would be a better place.
Yeah, that's solid. And you know what? Research can back that up.
Absolutely. I fucking can't. We talk about it all the fucking time. It's the three wise men of pleasures: dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Yep. She is living her best life, living in the Midwest with her partner, her daughter, and 5 adorable dogs.
Bark.
We love them.
Poor cute. Thank you.
Welcome, Athena.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
We're just glad and grateful. I was going to say grateful, which is like an amalgamation of the two. We're just super grateful that Arya let you come and talk to us. I mean,
so am I.
When Nicola came and hung out with us, and we were like, that's incredible. Thank you so much for being here. And then Jackie was like, I have another person that may want to come on your podcast. And I was like,
we're all yes, please.
Please.
Let's play.
And I love that Nicholas set the stage.
Yeah.
He is phenomenal.
Totally.
Yeah, he was great.
He was very chill and like he was very New York too.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Was he living in New York? He was at the time.
Yeah.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Does he not live there anymore?
He lives there now, but he wasn't for a while.
That's
right. He had
just
because he was going
moved.
back and forth. That's right.
But I mean, New York City.
If you hear this, if you happen to hear this, Nicholas, we love you. And we miss you, and we hope to see you again.
Yes, please.
Big hearts, big ups. Tell us a little bit about how you found, or actually, how did Arya find you?
So, surprise, surprise to the sex world. They found me through LinkedIn.
That's great.
Which is so random, right? Because nobody thinks of LinkedIn as being this sex positive space. But I firmly made it a sex positive space on my profile. I've been kicked off a couple times.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't always like what I have to say.
That's all right.
But that's how they found me. I had done a partnership with Feel Collective for female sexual empowerment, and I had written an article about erotic spanking. And unbeknownst to me, I basically was writing what an Arya scene looks like.
Yeah.
And so I had started it with this like fun little quip about there's like this archaeological find of a whipping cave, and that has like spicy hieroglyphics.
I love that.
I want to go to.
I know. I want to know.
old school
I want to see
porn.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I had done this funny like little intro to that, and then went into like the science and psychology behind erotic spanking and the how-tos, the map of slap.
Oh,
and
I love the
map
map
of
of
slap.
slap.
Oh my God.
That one deserves.
It's a real thing. There's places on the ass that are
and body
and the body, that are much more inclined to be spanked and feel pleasurable.
Do you have a favorite spot?
I do.
What is it? If you don't mind sharing. I want to know. For research.
For research purposes, clearly, for research. So you know how like the thigh and the butt cheek have that little lip on it?
Yeah.
Right above that lip, when he gets the bottom of his palm, and he has to make the cup right where the ass apples into the apple
want to grab
bottom.
at the end?
Oh, I love a grab and a caress.
I do a
little
hard one and then a
Hard.
caress because it kind of takes some of the sting away.
I love a good massage.
But it's also like, let me slap it and then tell you how much I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But usually and it's actually hurtful, honestly, if I walk by or like bend over in front of him and I don't get a slap.
That's a hate crime.
That is. Yeah, that's true.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It is a fucking hate crime.
You see my ass there, you better slap it. Hello?
And I do like hands more than I like objects. I recently went to a kinky play party, and a wonderful lady was utilizing large leather paddles.
Oh, yeah.
And she bruised me so bad I couldn't sit for 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Two?
Do you use arnica?
Yeah.
Have you used arnica to help with that?
No. What is that?
Oh, that's a good idea. I didn't even think
a
about
bruising
that.
cream. Like it's a
Oh.
Yeah.
Put that on the Amazon list.
Yeah.
Arnica, brought to you by What's Your Position? Unofficial sponsor. So you wrote an article about spanking.
Yes.
And the erotic psychology behind spanking.
And like how to bring up the conversation with your partner. Because I think that's the hardest part. People know how to read about it, but then they're like, how do I actually bring this up?
Yeah.
Right.
To
So give me 3
somebody?
points. How do you bring it up to your partner? Does you want him to spank you?
My favorite go-to is like, I had a dream. Because who can find a dream?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And like, dreams are wild.
You can't control that.
You can like,
I didn't do it. My
you can
dream
be
did
like,
it.
you spanked me super hard, and then you turn into a shark. So it's like not real, but I really like the spanking part of it, and
Shark,
I'd like to
not so
explore
much.
that.
Maybe
more.
shark means like biting?
Biting.
Yeah.
There we go.
Spanking,
Big fan of
biting.
biting.
Me too.
Great
Yeah.
Love a bite.
combination.
Yes.
Great combination.
Vampire.
I love I dreamt about it.
That's great.
Framing. I think everybody should use that at
That's
some
great.
point.
No,
It's so
that is,
easy.
I've never heard of that, and I think that's a
Brilliant.
great idea because you're like, I don't know, like I just dreamt about
Dream
it.
self.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you.
Oh my God, I think I've definitely actually done that without like realizing it. Yeah. I was like, I had a dream and I was like in this costume and it was crazy. Like,
Yeah.
And
what if I like had
little-
one? That's
did that.
insane.
A little cosplay action. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a
just-
dream that there
That's a
was
good
another
way.
girl in our bed, and I don't know.
That's
maybe we should try
wild.
it.
Oh my gosh, I just had one. I just did this like a week ago, not even thinking about it. I was like, I had a dream that we didn't know each other.
Ooh.
That's
Oh
hot
my
as
God.
Like
And I
meeting
was
at
like, stranger role play?
like meeting at a bar and
There There's such a good Modern Family episode. Oh my God. Where they go to they go to the hotel and then they pretend to be strangers.
Yeah. But her dad, Claire's dad, shows up and ruins it because he's at the same thing for a shelf conference.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep.
It's really great. Anyways, so Arya finds you because you write this amazing story about erotic spanking.
I did.
And they hire you to do what?
To just do scene writing.
Okay.
And so for those who aren't familiar with an Arya scene, you basically get taken on this little journey of an experience. And so each month it's an experience. So let's say, for example, one of our most popular ones is like a temperature play. It's called Heat. We've rebranded. It's Heat.
Okay.
I think when you guys done it, it was a different name. We won't talk about that name.
We won't talk about that.
It is Heat now. It's beautiful. It's sensual. And you go through this journey of learning about the science of it. You get the conversation starters. You get all the how-tos, all the nitty-gritty of guides from experts, from myself. You get fantasy erotica from our lovely Carolina, who like puts a little spice in your brain. And we really just step by step. You do not need to think.
You also get boundaries.
Yes.
You also talk about
boundaries.
And
oh,
safety.
wow, that's great.
Negotiation.
And not just safe words, but like this box contains candle wax. Please make sure that you are being safe in the following ways with the body and also with your fucking environment.
Like, don't burn your house down.
Because I could see how you could really get burnt using candle wax play because it's really hot, and especially there's different types of wax. I'm assuming that burn or melt at a higher temperature
And they explain,
your body.
Yeah, they explain how their candle is meant for play.
Yes.
Right.
It's a
and
massage
candle.
And
candle.
we really like that. It's
The
cool.
massage candle was really great. But it's like this cultivated, educational, kinky, intimate, like you said, journey where you don't have to think.
Let us do the thinking for you.
And I think that it's such a beautiful way to sort of like, again, I had a dream, like hands off. Arya sent the
exactly.
box.
Yes.
I didn't come up with the playlist.
Yes.
I didn't come up with the.
We love a good Arya blend.
Like
Arya
take
sent
the
it
hit.
to us. The concierge.
What am I supposed to do? Not use it? Like,
yes, the concierge
feels
said,
very strongly. That this will rock us.
Yeah. So like you got to write the erotic content for Arya.
The guides.
The guides.
Yeah.
Okay. The how-tos.
The how-tos. Basically everything outside of the fantasy stories. And now we have the customized role plays, which Carolina also writes. So everything outside of that comes from my know-how.
Were you ever a concierge on the other end of the text messages?
I get a lot of concierge messages where I will help them or I'll guide them to stuff within the scene because I'm so well versed.
And they might not know how to handle a certain,
or where to find certain things.
Sex support.
And
sex support.
Sex support.
And I put together resources constantly.
Yeah.
Like
sometimes
we won't have a resource like we did one on like a light choking because people kept asking about some safe ways to
There's
do
a
choking.
lot of different ways to do that.
And you have to it's you want to be safe about it. And I was like, well, I'll just write up a quick resource guide. So I'm constantly putting together guides for them. I think my most recent one was a more in-depth sex positions for body discomfort. We talked about if people had like endometriosis or vaginosis.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yes. Or maybe they have some bigger bodies that need some coordination. Or like disabilities. Which Arya is amazing. For partners who can't have penetrative sex. Because we don't focus on penetrative sex.
No, that's the crazy part too. Arya has so many scenes that really have nothing to do with intercourse.
Yes.
So much of what Arya does is outer course and foreplay.
Yes.
And setting the stage for you to be intimate with your partner in whatever way is comfortable for you without engaging in, okay, well, let's just pound town and get it over with.
Exactly. Because it's not comfortable for everybody.
No.
Yeah.
And for myself, I had endometriosis and I ended up having a hysterectomy, which has been great since then. But leading up to that, there was times where I'm like, I can't engage at all.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have to find other ways.
Yeah.
And we can do that for you.
Arya can help.
So what about your role at Arya has evolved in the last year? What would you say, like, you started out doing and then it has absolutely just completely changed or added, or something has been developed because of you?
Oh, yeah. That's interesting. So because the team is, we're growing, it's moderate.
Yeah.
All of our roles are you wear so many hats and you do so many different things. And so I went from, okay, you'll do like scene writing, to now we need more curation, like coming up with the ideas. And Laura, she's our head of content. Her and I just spoke about this like a week or so ago. And she's like, I give you such little scaffolding when it comes to these ideas. And it really just comes from your brain.
Yeah.
And you really bring it to life.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I have that, I guess, trust
That's
and
amazing.
independence
Yeah.
to
Yeah, that's
come up
awesome.
with these ideas.
Right.
What a safe space.
It
too.
is. I will say I'm super kinky on and
You ever thought about writing smut?
I have a little bit back in the day when texting was newish and sexting. I had girlfriends that would pay me to like write
Text for them? Oh my
sexting
God.
messages for them.
Shut
That's
the fuck up.
amazing.
Yeah. And I've written out sext data sets for AI companies.
Wow.
And so I'm a pretty decent sexter.
data sets?
Yes.
That's
For
fucking
AI?
awesome.
Like asking Chat GPT. I'm literally going to open it.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I'm going to open it right the fuck
That's
now.
so cool.
Okay, and then how did it come about that you became like the musical guru?
It was so random. So, okay, I'm a workhorse. I will take on anything you throw at me. If I don't know how to do it, I am bringing up
Figure it out.
YouTube tutorials, and I will become as close to faking an expert as possible.
There you go.
Fake it till you make it.
Oh my gosh. And I just love this space so much, and it's always evolving. You can't just be a copywriter. You can't pigeonhole yourself. And so I'm always like, just give me more and more and more. I love doing this. I'm super involved with Arya. I'm in with Arya. I love it. And so any way to like move it forward and continue to move it forward.
Right.
And I'm also a little bit of a control freak when it comes to the
Understood.
package that they're getting delivered. So
Right.
if I've written this whole scene and I know the vibe that I want them to experience, then why wouldn't I curate the playlist that then
Right.
goes with the vibe of the
That
scene?
makes
Like I
sense.
couldn't just
Yeah.
offload that on somebody.
Because somebody else might put some, and you're like, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't go.
Yeah.
We need to change this.
Well,
Yes.
music, in my personal opinion, has power.
Yes.
Totally.
I am like, I think music is and you wrote a really amazing article on love languages, which I want to get to, where you basically are like, go fuck yourself. Love languages.
Yes.
In so many words. We just did an episode on them, and we talked about how we know that there are other love languages
antiquated
in the
and-
world. Like
Yeah.
there's other things that people
Yes.
need and want, and there's a much better way to like fulfill every single language. But like also, what do you need right now? Right now, I'm feeling like I need to be spoiled. Right now, I'm feeling like I need to be close to you. Right now, I'm feeling like I need your undivided attention. Right now, I'm feeling a little bit insecure. I need you to tell me that I'm a good girl. Whatever the case may be.
Every day, please.
But I think music is a love language, personally.
Same.
Totally.
I have an oral fixation. I also have an audio fixation.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yep.
I need that.
Yeah.
I need music.
It is transformative. And I think that the way that you curate these playlists make the scenes, because when you're having sex and it's something new and novel and you don't really know what you're doing, the silence.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, right? Music can kind of help like break up that
Break
tension.
that.
I
From
can't
one moment to
stand
the
silence
next.
at all.
Yeah, no,
can't stand-
I don't
I-
think I ever
I need music.
not have something.
I turned the radio off the other day because it was on NPR and there was a voice that I didn't like, and he's very orange, and I don't like his voice, and I turned it off out of anger and drove in silence for like 2 seconds from Trader Joe's to here.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is loud. Silence
Yeah.
is deafening.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
know if I can handle, but I didn't want to just turn on music and I'm going to be home in 30 seconds and just sit there in silence and that's fine. And no, it isn't.
No, it's not.
And
Alone with my thoughts.
Yeah.
No. I think that music really helps, especially like the novel situation where like the sounds might be a little weirder than your normal tune. Yeah. The smells might be a little weirder. And you have all these other sensations, and it's nice to just have your ears be comforted by a really sexy song. Pillow Talk by Zayn is my go-to song for sexy time. It's a really fucking great song. There was a research actually done at the University of Missouri that found couples who listen to music together report a 40% increase in relationship satisfaction.
Oh, I 100% believe that.
Than those who do not share musical experiences. And I actually would love to know like the difference between like listening to music together and because like him and I will watch TV maybe an hour or so every 3 days. Music is on in our house
all the time. Yeah,
all the time.
We have all of our Alexas hooked up together, so it's in like almost every room. Yeah, we can play it all at the same time.
But music really does, I think, curate parts of the soul. And when you have a good fucking playlist, not a good fucking playlist, but a good fucking playlist.
I need it to deep. I need to feel it deep in my soul.
I need it to make me want to do things.
Yes.
There was a song on the box we shall not name, which is now called Heat. By Beyonce. And it was maybe like the third song in, and it was so fucking
and it's a deep cut
point.
Isn't it?
I don't even know what the fuck the name is.
Yeah,
I've never
I only try to find like some of we have a newer scene that came out called Pose. And it's kind of a boudoir, like an at-home boudoir scene.
I love that.
And I threw in some more like contemporary songs, but I try to do, and then Adore, like we have, a queer vertical for a female. And so I actually did something new where I created a playlist for like our heterosexual folks, and then I created a playlist for our queer folks.
I love that.
Some fucking horns.
That's fucking awesome.
Because incredible.
When two women are like eating each other out, they're going to be listening to different music than when a man's eating a woman out. Like it's so I went Sapphic. I went down the Sapphic. I was like, this is my new.
You embodied the Sapphic.
Right.
You embodied.
I listened to it.
You lived
still.
on Lesbos in Greece.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And
time.
I sent it to one of our team members, and because she is a lesbian, and I was like, I need your stamp of approval on this. Like, and I don't usually send my playlists to anybody. Like every so often I'll be like, I'll be like, I made this bomb ass playlist. Everybody listen to this. But for her, I was like, please listen.
No,
like,
give me your approval.
And she was like, this is a good one. I was like, thank you.
Fire.
Thank you.
You're all
fire.
Yes. And the main thing with building the playlist that's really important to me is to start out slow, get faster, and then to kind of drop off a teeny bit.
They're meant to be listened in order.
And I really hyperfixate on the transition between the songs and how they sound. Yeah. I spend more time fixating on that than collecting the songs. So collecting the songs is just like this mosh podge of me just like adding. I go down Reddit threads of what do people like to listen to while they're doing, because people share anything nowadays.
Reddit's insane. I love it.
Is insane. But what you just said actually brings me to my stat of the day. People use songs as a mode of vulnerability and connection. People use songs to express things that our words sometimes can't. Especially individuals who aren't necessarily good with their words can send a song or play a song and have that be the vehicle for how they tell someone how they feel about them. Music is actually seen as an emotional accelerator. And journal from the Journal of Science and personal relationships suggests that music actually releases oxytocin, which is the hormone of love, bonding, and trust. So for my stat of the day, which let me just go ahead and tell you what we're going to do here. I'm going to tell you a statistic without telling you the number.
Okay.
And everyone in the room and the audience has to guess what they think the number is. And then we talk about it at the end of the episode.
Everybody has to wait.
I can't see it.
I love this. I'm so excited.
What percentage of people in relationships report that they use music to set the mood for sexual and intimate behaviors?
Oh, wow.
Is this for heterosexual or?
It doesn't say, but it is the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships.
Okay.
Did a study and found that this percentage of people in relationships report that they use music to set the mood for sexual and intimate relationships. What percentage?
I'm going to go 70.
70. Husband Kevin Weller locking in. By the way, it's Price is Right rules. Closest.
I love Price is Right. I just introduced my daughter to Price is Right, and I love it.
So good.
Closest without going over.
I was going to say 73.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to do 58%.
58%. Okay. And we will come back to that at the end of the show. Please don't let me forget, for the love of God.
She she kind of fucked my answer up, but
That's what I was going to say, and then you cut me off.
But it was
Played the dollar.
I know. I usually
Played the dollar
she'll
game.
start to say something. I'm like 85, and she's like
83.
I was about to go.
Music directly connects to our brain regions involved in emotional processing. It involves the amygdala and the pleasure center of the brain, which is involved in dopamine release. And how our songs align with our partners can create an emotional anchor within that relationship. So cultivating these playlists, I think, is one of my favorite things that you do at Arya.
Yes.
It's my personal favorite thing that you do. What is your favorite thing that you do?
I do want to touch on one more thing about the
please.
playlist.
Yeah,
please.
Because
Let's talk about this all fucking day.
I had not thought about this, which was odd for me because when I'm working, so when I'm in like creative mode, the music I'm listening to is traditional Japanese music.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Random, right?
That's amazing.
like that's what I'll listen
yes.
like 95% of the time. It's
Like the
traditional.
sitar with the I don't even know how to.
Very ancient sounding.
Yeah.
I like
Okay.
Gregorian chants. And I also like Hindu music or Bollywood or stuff like that. But the traditional Japanese music, no words.
Yeah.
I need just something I can really focus in on. And we had a request for a word-free playlist because there were people with sensory
totally.
triggers.
Oh.
Sure.
That's how I feel. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I can't really listen to music with words a whole lot if I'm in like an intimate
mode.
situation. I feel like it's because then I'm focusing too much on the lyrics.
Yes.
And then it's like,
Yeah, or
and then I'm thinking about other things.
yes,
and
or it can stop
Because
you.
all of a
right,
sudden
totally.
ADD kicks
Yes.
in.
Yes.
And you're like, what do I got to do later?
Right.
Yeah. So I went down this rabbit hole and I made a sensual, sensory friendly playlist.
Wow.
And an upbeat sensory friendly. And so that's
so
not
great.
actually part of that's something the concierge can then offer. If
Are these
somebody
playlists
says
available anywhere for human beings to just have, or do you have to have an artist?
Ashley just wants to put them on in the background
do.
when we're just
I
hanging out.
honestly don't know how it works.
God damn it.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Figure it out. I'm gonna figure
Yeah.
the fuck out.
So
Hit up our concierge.
yeah.
yes, I will say playlists are probably one of my more favorite things that
That's
I
your
do.
love language.
It really is. And because I got to accidentally do it, they were just like, yeah, we don't really have someone who does this anymore. Do you want to do it? And I was like, yeah, I love music.
Add it
Sounds
to my
fun.
plate.
Why
Let's
not?
go.
Yeah.
And that's probably one of my more favorite things. A favorite thing that I like to do within Arya is stalk everybody's feedbacks.
Hell yeah.
So for the listener, if you join Arya, you provide on the outset, before you ever join Arya, you fill out a survey that talks about
which I don't get
why.
into too much.
No.
But Nico does.
Nico does.
He loves that stuff.
And we will. But they talk about like why people are joining Arya and where intimacy is in a person's mind and relationship. But then as a consumer of Arya, you can fill out feedback about the scene and they send it to you in a text message and it's very easy. You answer like 10 questions and it's like on a scale of 1 to 5, on a scale of 1 to 5. It's like a Likert scale.
Yeah. But you can add comments.
Yep. And so you're stalking the feedback because
gosh.
you're such an integral part of the experience itself.
I love
And
the
you're like,
feedback.
did you come because of what I said?
Yes.
Right.
Like, I mean, of course I want to see what their favorite part is.
Sure.
Was it scene guidance or the toys? 'Cause scene guidance should always win.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously.
Yes. And so I love the comments because there are things you just don't think about, right? And
Tell me some.
And well, the sensory playlist for one.
Okay. Yeah.
A lot of we've gone more in depth on how to clean up after wax play.
Oh,
Yeah.
We were talking about our little experience with the wax play.
I'm so sorry to the Airbnb host and whistler whose sheets that we ruined with the.
We're like, we keep washing it, and then we're like, you know what?
Yes.
If we fold it with the stains on the inside of the fold,
It can't be us.
then they don't
It could be anybody.
It could be any wax. It could be anybody.
Chapstick.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I get more into that, a lot more on people really just want to know how to talk to their partner more.
Yeah.
And so it actually gives me more inspiration on what resources to write.
Yeah.
So we write resource guides that are external from your scene that we can just send you periodically when you have, different things that come up. And so it gives me, I like kind of being ahead. Or if someone says, I really want to know how to give a yoni massage, for example, which is a vulva massage, and we don't have something for them quite yet, I can like quickly write up like a resource guide and be like, oh, here it is. Like, I love that instant, like that I can
give me 30 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Give me 30 minutes. I'll be right back with
I'll
you.
be right back.
I love giving them the instant gratification whenever I can. So I love doing that. And I think working with the team is probably my most favorite part. Is when Carolina writes a lot of the fantasy, and when her and I get to just synergize and work on these different things, and then we get like Nico's perspective and Laura, who's our new head of content, like her perspective, and we really start thinking like out of the box ways to give intimate activities that are not about penetration, all that. Just how do we make things just better for the Arya users?
Right.
Like that's really what keeps me logged in.
Do you have
every
any
day.
like comments that you've gotten that you like stand out to you that you were like, that is such a fucking piece of validation of what I do in my job that like,
We just had one recently that they were like, you reawakened an orgasm that like I haven't had in 15 years.
oh my
And I was
God.
like, oh my gosh. Yes. Like I love the couple that have been together for a long time who have kind of like lost it a teeny bit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they get this service and they have one of the best orgasms of their life. They get to let loose in a way that they've never gotten to do before. They get to connect with their partner in a way that they've never gotten to connect before. I live for those comments. Like I love the comments that are like, everything you do is magical.
Yeah.
Please just every month we love the surprise. We love what you're doing. But I also, I mean, I'm a BDSM junkie. So constructive criticism, also big fan of that.
Yes. Love a little bit.
Tell me what to do.
Yes. Yes. Tell me what I'm doing wrong and I will fix it for you. And then you'll give me good feedback.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So I know that Arya does a check-in with people, and we are going to talk later in the year about this beautiful survey that gets done through Arya about intimacy and romantic relationships. But there was a 2022 study that was published in the Journal of Marriage and Family Therapy that found couples who engage in emotional check-ins on a regular basis with one another had a 25% lower divorce rate.
Yeah, I could see that.
I absolutely could see that.
Talking?
Excuse me?
Talking helps?
Talking to the person
That's
that you
crazy.
spend-
What?
Communication? Nah.
What?
Oh my gosh. There's
Who are
such
you,
a
strange
great
man?
chapter in Lori Mintz's book, Becoming Cliterate, about just communication.
Just communication.
And it's like, that is such an important fucking part that people just forget about.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Who would you say is your go-to when you're creating these resources, when you are developing sort of like a how-to or answering questions about like places people can go to utilize resources? Who are your favorite people to use?
Oh my gosh. So I'm terrible at names.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I can help
Same.
you.
So please don't judge me on that. I've worked with so many different sex coaches that I utilize a lot of their different websites.
Yeah.
And I've been able to work with different experts. So like Nikki Davis used to be working with Arya. She was a sex coach. And so I love all of her resources that she sends out. I've read so many things now, and I'm sure you are the same way, where it's hard to choose where you learned it from.
Right.
Totally.
You just know it.
Yeah. Actually, it's very hard to cite your sources. It's super hard.
Impossible. And some of it's very intuitive because I also live the lifestyle. Right. And so there's not one main place that this comes from. But I will say, I know I said it already, but Reddit is a plethora of just so much real life.
It's all people. It's like
real life
it's
people.
not.
Yes.
I go to Reddit all the time.
All the time. I learn so much from them.
Yeah.
And of course, then you have to like fact check. But I love a forum. I love finding just those random like old internet forums.
Yeah.
Totally. Where it's like those websites haven't been updated for a hot second.
The comments have been closed for 10 years.
Yeah.
Yes. But they are so good because it's really basics.
Yeah.
I mean, we're really just kind of finessing around basic things that are part of intimacy and communication and all of that. And putting our little Arya spin or putting my own personal spin on it. That and a lot of it also comes from inspiration with working with the products.
Yeah.
And
tell us about that. Tell us about how you break this the fuck down. Do you just get a box of dildos mailed to you? Like, are you just like, someone's like, hey, we want to be part of Arya. Here's some lube. Hey, we want to be part of Arya. Here's some magnetic nipple clamps in the shape of a screw. How are you testing? Is Arya finding the products and sending them to you, or are product people sending them to you and you're showing them to Arya? What's that process?
So it's a little bit of a mix.
Okay.
I will say Jackie does a ton of our like partnership. And so she'll reach out to me and be like, we're looking at a partnership with this brand. Check out their website. Okay. Tell me what you want. Or like, we're going to be sending you a bunch of stuff from a brand that we partner with a lot.
Another hot phrase. Tell me what you want. Go on their website and tell me what toys you want. It's like fucking Christmas for you every day.
Oh, it really is.
That's amazing.
It really is.
Oh,
I think you have the job that everybody's like not low key, really like
so
jealous. Jealous.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. Every time I get a box of goodies delivered, and sometimes like I got a box from Leash, which is a high-end Japanese bondage company, and oh my gosh, I got so much stuff. We literally, my husband and I had to block off a whole weekend.
I love that. Put it in the calendar, babe. We're fucking tonight.
We are testing. This is all you're going to be doing,
and your towels.
Yeah. So
Gatorades and towels.
We're testing shit this weekend.
Are you taking notes mid-coitus?
Yes, and I
love that.
I'll take notes, but I also question him on things. I mean, honestly, I think I've changed his sex life for the better.
I'm sure. Does he get like an affiliate paycheck?
He always says, I'm not really on their payroll. I'm like, well, you're still my tester.
Oh my god,
you're getting a lot.
You reap the benefits,
right?
Sometimes he wants to complain. Like he'll complain to somebody, and they're like, "It just sounds like you're bragging. It doesn't really sound like a complaint."
God,
He's like,
we just had so much sex recently. It's crazy, man.
My wife brought home a box full of bondage toys, and I had to try them. Wah, wah.
I will say we were sent some more like niche BDSM items a few months ago.
I'm sorry, you're not going to tell us what they were.
Oh, I will tell you, because I have about half a dozen of them sitting in my office right now that I literally can't like do much with because they're so niche. Cock cages. You can't just give out a cock cage.
Oh, like
right.
You really have to know.
That's not like a one size fits all thing.
Yes.
Right,
Yeah. Like it's like I brought you a nice lube, right?
Yeah,
like I can't just bring you a cock cage and be like, here, I'm just gonna guess what you're into.
You could have, because I have a wall. Of,
that would have been
Oh my
great
gosh,
for
I
that.
should have brought you a cock cage.
You could put it on a little wooden dick over here.
I have my. I
That
have
would be hilarious and amazing.
A dick ashtray from the Philippines that my
really
sister
cute.
got for me.
Yeah.
I have a candle in the shape of a woman's body.
I love that. I also
big
have
old
one of those,
titties.
Yes.
The big old titties.
Did you
Love that.
get that from Arya?
No.
That's our candle now that we send out. It looks like that.
I love that.
Wait,
No,
didn't
actually,
we?
no, a student got that for me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there
Yeah.
you go.
We have,
Studio might be using
I
a
have
student.
a great
sexy
mug that has titties on it that a student made for me.
Nice.
I have an old school book of sex that Mia bought
Oh
for
my
me at a
gosh.
garage sale.
I got it
love
at a
that.
vintage mart.
A Vintage Mart. I have a book of Alice in Wonderland that my friend carved. What's your position?
Oh my
into
God,
the
cute.
spine of
Aw.
the book. Yeah. No, I'd love a cock cage. I would hang that from somewhere.
Noted.
Nope.
I will. And so the cock cages were a lot to test because
Did you test it?
Well, yeah, but you can't be hard for a cock cage to put on. So like we had to wait for the best moment. You can't just be like, and then we'd have to do breaks in between because once you start messing around, things get excited.
You're like,
so I'd be
ow,
like, calm down.
ow,
Arya. Like, let's-
ow.
Calm down.
Calm down.
I will say the hardest thing that we tested on him was a ball leash. So it was a little like collar that you put on.
Oh my God.
Put around the balls, and it has a leash
That's so cute.
that you tug.
Does it have
And-
a little bell?
Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. No, and I couldn't get it because his balls kept scurrying away from me. They were like, no.
That's a temperature
I
thing,
can't
right?
be
That's
leashed.
a temperature.
They didn't like being manhandled,
If-
so I'm like trying to put
If
it
they're
on.
too warm, they will go up.
me in.
Or if
Yeah.
they're too cold, they'll go up. If they're too warm, they'll go down.
They don't. They don't want a little leather buckle
Can
around
I put
them.
a ball leash? Can I put a ball leash on you?
Absolutely.
You just got to get his balls
But you can't
Wrangle
don't-
them.
You gotta be nice to them.
I will. I'm just gonna walk him around.
Is there like a favorite product that you've discovered from this that like wasn't something that you were expecting to like?
Oh yeah. So, what is something that we use pretty often? I really like. So I was never like a stroker sleeve girl.
Okay.
Because
okay.
I love a blowjob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
yeah.
fan. Like
Yeah.
I want to be all up in there. And like you don't need
Yeah.
extra things.
No.
He's got hands. I got hands. I got a mouth. Like
Yeah.
what else do you need?
What else? We all got hands.
We all got hands. Yeah. And if you don't have hands, you have a mouth.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many. You got feet. Yeah.
You
Like you have boobs.
Yeah.
You got thighs.
Yeah, a boob
Let's
job.
fuck
Yeah.
a boob
Get
job.
creative. And so I liked the cock sleeves that we were sent to
Interesting.
practice on. Yeah, there was one by Love Honey that I really
Oh, I
liked.
love
Oh,
Love
that's a good
Honey.
brand.
I'm a big fan of Love
Big
Honey.
fan of Love Honey.
And-
Unofficial sponsor.
Yeah, and it has like these little phalange things
Oh.
inside that like caress.
Baby, you have a cock sleeve.
I have two.
You have two, and
have two.
one of them has little phalanges on the
Yeah.
inside, right?
Yeah,
Little,
they're little bumps.
little bumpies.
Yeah, that's
Do
your
you-
that's your favorite.
I do actually really like. I really do like that one. We got a cock sleeve and it actually is a pretty cool like sensation during intercourse when he wears the cock sleeve, not just like
yeah.
using it for masturbation, but like
Yeah.
wearing it. But you have one for masturbation too. Like
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
couple.
It's really fascinating that
Yeah.
like and now you have a box
Because a
for
cock sleeve is different from a stroker.
Yes.
It depends. Yeah, because the stroker has the opening at the top,
Right.
Where
Right.
you can do some oral play and or have sex while it's on, kind of like the O-net. I think it's called the pelvic people.
Oh, so
nowadays.
you're talking about like the head
Pops
sticks
out.
through
Will stick out,
and you
right.
use it while you're having sex.
or
or-
a
okay.
blowjob. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little stroke.
Learning new things.
Yeah.
Did Arya take that on and put that in one of their boxes?
Yeah, that's our blowjob.
Oh,
scene. It's
cool.
called Edge. So it's not just oral sex on a man. There's also some edging.
Nice.
Yeah,
Love edging.
I love edging.
Love
Big fan of edging.
Big fan.
Oh, big fan. And so yeah, we had it in there. We play around with different strokers all the time because it's hard sometimes because not all one size fits all.
No,
so
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
have to kind of play around. But I really like that Love Honey one, and I'm a big fan of the lubes that
Okay.
we did. So my original favorite flavored lube was our liquid one that we did, which was cherry vanilla.
Liquid, that's so good.
Liquid, that's a great name.
The cherry vanilla was so good. And that was one of the first rounds of like product testing that we did, that my husband and I did, was a lube tasting where I got sent a bunch of different flavored lubes. And we basically was like, because it's not just about tasting, it's like, okay, how do they fade? How do they smell on a person?
How is your mouth
feel?
Right.
Like when you're down there and the smell starts to fade, you know, sometimes they have a weird fade smell.
Yeah, like an acrid chemically kind of a taste.
Like I tested one, it was like hairspray. I was like, oh God. Can't.
Nope.
Yeah, no.
I can't do that.
It's like an immediate turn off.
Yes.
Smells are a big thing.
Yes.
Smells can be very like enticing, but also very like.
But also when you think about lube too, you don't want to put your mouth on it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's thick and sticky. And
that's why I like an edible. I love a flavored edible.
The one that you
lube.
brought us, that was
Yes.
Honeydew.
Yeah. So Mochi Melt, that's another brand that we partner with, and that is my go-to right now.
Yeah.
Is the Mochi Melt and the Honeydew. Oh, so yummy.
Yeah. So great.
I took it to a play party actually, and was like just having people taste test it.
That's a great icebreaker. Like, hey, come
try this lube.
Come try this with me.
A great place to test products.
Yeah.
Is at a play
Oh
party.
my God, that is such a good idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've thought about maybe offboarding some of these cock cages. We find out who the true kinksters are.
There we go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. To go
Just kind of be like,
some
anybody?
Right? Does anybody want a cock cage? Anyone?
Yeah.
Okay, so we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to discuss how Arya and being a product tester, also writing erotica and scene setting, has changed your marriage.
Yeah.
We are also going to talk about some research on how to be a better intimate and romantic partner, how to involve sex toys. And this episode really is for our middle America vanilla listener who just needs to know, how do I bring this up to my partner? What can I say? And the benefits that come from being intimate, romantic, and engaging in play with your partner. So join us on the other side. We'll be right back. Is your bedroom getting boring? Does your sex life feel stale? Or are you just looking for a fun date night activity? Arya has got you covered. Arya's carefully cultivated, choose your own adventure box is like no subscription service you have ever encountered. You and your partner fill out a sexy questionnaire to help the intimacy experts tailor your boxes to your comfortability, range of sexual likes and dislikes, and create specialized scenes for both of you to enjoy. Each box is hand-curated with high-quality items to enhance your sexy scene and includes Spotify playlists, provides ideas for starting the scene, and encourages you to have boundaries, safe words, and aftercare. And throughout the process, your personal concierge will text you, email you, and get you excited for your sexy night in. Whether you're looking to increase your kink or just become closer to your partner, Arya has a scene for you. Visit aria.fyi.com and use our code WYP15 at checkout for 15% off your first 3 months and try on a new side of your sensual self. That's WYP15. Arya, your playful mentor for all things sexy.
Take it, hold it, pass it down. Pat it, lick it, pull it down.
Welcome back, fellow humans, to our full frontal with Athena from Arya. We are talking about all things intimate relationships, how to make your sex life spicier, how to engage intimacy within your sexual relationships, how to start the conversation, and how intimacy can affect your marital and romantic relationships for the better. Just for a fun little fact, as we start out our second half, the average adult has sex approximately once a week, about 54 times a year. Adults in their 20s, on average, have sex around 80 times a year. And then adults in their 60s, sadly, have sex about 20 times a year.
Interesting.
Right.
I always thought
face.
old people were pretty horny, though.
They are.
That's like something that I keep seeing is like they're hornier than you think they are.
No, they absolutely are.
Like people in their 70s and up.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Especially at nursing homes, they're like,
yeah, people
yeah.
get like chlamydia outbreaks.
Like Sun Valley, Arizona.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is
it's big time.
the one at Leisure World that's right down the street from here, I guess has like the highest rate of STDs.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're 50. I think it's a 55 and over, 65 and over, and it's they're partying.
Well, we
It's
have a
crazy.
We have a 36-hour rule.
What's that?
We have sex every 36 hours.
Oh my God.
wow.
Wait, you set an alarm.
36 it's 36 hour. If we go, it's for everyone's safety.
Yeah. Yeah.
People need to be milked often. And for the safety of everyone around us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People need to be coming every 36 hours.
I fucking hear you.
yeah.
So what if you're not in the mood?
I don't.
Fuck it and fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like
Athena
anything
just
else.
looks at me like I had 7 heads. She's like, not in the mood. What?
So it's like anything else in my opinion. So writing, for example,
Yeah.
I'm not always in the mood to write.
Okay.
I mean, not everybody's in the mood to do their work, even if their work's super exciting.
Yeah.
And so I set a timer for 30 minutes to get myself going. And if like nothing's going to come out of that writing after 30 minutes, then like let it be.
Yeah.
I feel like intimacy with your partner is the same way. Like just get it started. Just touch each other. If you just start touching,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it'll lead to something. It may not lead to like penetrative sex,
Yeah.
but it'll lead to
Greater
something more than what you were
emotional-
doing.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't always have to lead to orgasm.
No.
It doesn't always have to lead to penetration. It
Yes.
doesn't always have to lead to mind-blowing sex.
Yes.
It can just be deeper intimacy, deeper connection.
Kissing.
Yeah. Make
Touching
out.
each other. When's the last time you touched each other?
Right.
Like, touched in
Yeah.
a non like peck on the cheek out the door.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Like just touching. Like when you're in bed, like watching. I love watching TV at night. We're that couple that will binge and like we have a TV in the bedroom. Sorry for the people that are like anti-TV in the bedroom.
That's me. I'm an anti-TV.
I was. I was.
Huge.
And then we ended up with an extra one and he like put it in the bedroom and I mean you could watch porn on it, which is really nice.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Fair.
Yeah.
Right.
We are not getting a TV. in the bedroom. You can let that go.
No, no porn in the bedroom.
We can have porn in the
On
bedroom.
the phone, right?
On the computer.
Yeah.
On the phone.
You got a really big
laptop.
screen on
I
your
do.
laptop
My
now.
laptop is huge.
Yeah. He recently got a bigger TV. We have like a 70-inch TV in our bedroom now.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
I'm like,
You're like,
the porn is right there. It's right there.
It's everything.
get a surround sound
But
system.
yeah, but like touch each other, like
Yeah.
snuggle in, be naked. Being naked.
yeah.
Like when's the last time you were
Skin to
naked with your
skin
partner?
contact.
Full
that
naked.
happens probably every day. I would
Yeah.
imagine. There's not a day that goes by that that's not happening. Intimacy is not just about a physical connection. It's also about being emotional and present and available for one another. So a lot of listeners might think to themselves, oh gosh, but if I engage in intimacy, that means I have to have sex. No, it doesn't. Intimacy is vulnerability.
Yeah.
It is being honest. It is being open and emotionally talking to your partner about your day and about what happened. And you could be naked. I actually read this amazing article about naked fighting.
Oh yeah.
And then I also read an article about naked fighting laying down. So like if you're angry and you're having a disagreement, get naked and lay down.
I guarantee you that would stop it.
Because if you're naked and you're laying down, you aren't staring at the person, so you're not getting like facial feedback, so you're not necessarily like pissed off by their facial expression. And when you're naked, you're both just more vulnerable. So it's a lot less likely that you're going to say something with your cloak of armor or, you know, whatever you're wearing, your alligator Lacoste shirt. You're less likely to feel this draw to put on armor. You are naked. You are vulnerable. And if you want to have a disagreement or a conversation about something really intense or really emotional or something that's been bothering you, get naked and lay in bed and then talk about it. And it will help sort of diffuse the anger and the irritability and the irrational facial expressions that you have when you're standing up. Emotional intimacy plays a crucial role in the longevity and happiness of relationships. Research from American Psychological Association states that couples who engage in deep conversations about thoughts, feelings, and experiences report a 33% higher level of happiness in long-term relationships than couples who do not. And that does, Mia, cover the gamut of gay and heterosexual relationships.
Love that.
So we want to talk about how intimacy and trust and vulnerability should be the bedrock of relationships. Communication, honesty, and willingness to talk about what your desires are. Research in Gottman, love a Gottman. Love Gottman. I love Gottman. Just, he's my guru. If I could meet did you know that he and his wife live on Orcas Island in Seattle?
Really?
Yeah, in the San Juan Islands. I know. Like, I might go stalk him when I go home and just bring them coffee and be like, hello, Gottmans, I love you. Hi.
How old are they now?
They're in their 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it can't be that hard to find.
No.
How big is Orcas Island?
Not big.
It's not very big.
No, you could drive it in 20 minutes. So I'm just going to
meander around.
I'm just going to go door to door with the coffee.
Yeah, there you go.
Where do the Gottmans live? Hello?
Yeah.
Anyone?
They probably have a sign out there.
Probably. According to the Gottmans, 70% of couples who engage in open and vulnerable communication report more consistent sexual satisfaction. So, how can we encourage all walks of life, all areas of the country, from red states to blue states to purple states, from elephants to donkeys to sea lions, from people who are sexually conservative to people who are sexually liberal, from religious folks to atheists? How can we, as sex positive sex educators, encourage people to just be at their very basic level intimate with their partner? What is the best way to start that?
Okay, so this is a little secret that I always tell people, because I think this might be the easiest way for people who are a little non-confrontational.
Okay.
Is texting.
Oh,
That's great.
I know that
Yeah.
I can't wait for you to get back home.
I know. Well,
we can-
not just that, but like, I feel like you can be more vulnerable in a text, and you don't have to see your partner's facial expressions. If they get the ick from something that you bring up, or it gives them time to also collect their thoughts in a way that they don't feel pressure to respond to you verbally, because you're not having that conversation. I really think that texting is an underutilized tool when it comes to having a beginning of a difficult conversation.
sure.
And I know people are a little afraid of, like, you know, don't lose the one-on-one, and don't lose but for me especially, writing while I write for a living, it's hard for me to then vocalize all the time my vulnerable feelings, and I can write my vulnerable feelings better than I can talk my vulnerable feelings.
Absolutely.
And so that is something that I really think that if you have kind of an emotional, vulnerable situation or a desire, I mean, it doesn't have to be as deep as like something, like a vulnerability, but like a desire, start it with his text. And that way, if they don't respond well, don't have a good initial reaction, you may not have to see their poor initial reaction.
Right.
And
Right.
let them collect their thoughts.
If they need a minute to process what you've said, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to need a minute, you don't immediately get this like, oh God, okay, I'm just kidding. I didn't mean to say that. That's my bad.
Yeah.
They get time because you don't know when they've seen the text message. Maybe they don't need to, maybe they're in the middle of work and they can't like respond right away. And so you kind of have this sort of leisure of, you know, that when they see it, they'll see it. When they respond, they respond. And when they respond, they can respond in a way that's either, oh, that's really hot, or, oh, I didn't know you felt that way, or I would love to talk about this more when I come home.
Exactly. And for those non-texters, create an email.
Yeah.
So there are couples who have email accounts just for spiciness.
That is so smart.
That's interesting.
Just for having these types of conversations.
Yeah.
So
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Because not everybody likes a text. And some people are a little more old school and like an email.
Yeah, right.
I mean, a sexy
What if I
email,
write
it's
you
been a hot minute.
Totally.
Write
I
you
got
a
it.
sexy letter.
Dude,
got a
yeah.
sexy email.
I mean, I feel like putting it in writing too also kind of forces you to be a little bit more concise
Yes,
with your words.
you can double check what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
You can read it to yourself.
Read it back, because like sometimes you'll just say something out of like, I don't know, instinct, or you just say the first thing that comes to your head and you're like, that's not actually
not
what
what I
meant
wanted to say.
Like I meant to say it in a different way, but I just didn't have enough time to process it. So that kind of like helps you
And
realize it.
you should not argue via text. That is
maybe
different
not.
than this.
There's a lot of context that gets
There is a lot of tone and context.
Thank you for clarifying that. One of the greatest tools that we got in therapy was never argue in a text message, ever. Because we did that a lot.
Yeah.
When we,
I feel like who hasn't, right?
our therapist gave us a really great piece of advice, was that, you know, you cannot hear the way that you cannot hear the pain in someone's voice when you are texting, and you don't actually understand how this is affecting them. But texting somebody, I want to pour honeydew lube on your badge and go to town later, is a way hot message to receive in the middle of a workday.
Right, totally.
Or getting an email that is generated.
Yeah.
Excuse me, really quickly. I just wanted to go ahead and read to the audience. I said to Chat GPT, write me a sext to a heterosexual man where I tell him to ravage and worship me. And this is what it wrote back.
Oh my God.
It's a paragraph. I can see it from here.
They're wordy.
I need you to take me completely. Ravage me like you've been starving for me. Like you cannot stop yourself. Pin me down, make me beg, and let me feel your desire in every touch, every thrust. Then, when I'm trembling under you, worship me. Kiss me like I'm the only thing that matters. Let your tongue and hands explore every inch of what is yours. Make me ache, make me scream, and remind me who I belong to.
Holy
Chat
shit.
GPT is a thirsty gal.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow. The mini,
That's good.
multifaceted
That's really good.
Chat GPT.
If you need some help
Yeah.
with crafting a text.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Also, like getting if you're, because you said having like an email dedicated to sexting and having kinky
brilliant idea.
convos.
Yeah.
I feel like getting a Snapchat account too could
There
be
you
really
go.
fun.
We only talk via Snapchat.
Yes, there
My
was
husband and I
definitely
only do Snapchat.
There was a couple hookups where I would exclusively talk to them on Snapchat,
Yeah.
but it's great because you can send pictures and they'll delete after 24 hours.
And it's
I mean,
so naughty.
it is
it's
really
so
naughty.
naughty.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was just visiting my sister. She's like, who are you Snapchatting?
It's
And I was like,
fun.
you know, and she was like, you guys don't text? I'm like, we don't ever text. If we text, it's like something official, like my flight lands.
Right.
Like, you should
Right.
pick me up.
We need bread.
Or like
Yeah.
WhatsApp or like some third party.
But I
kind of-
love a
to get it off of like your general iMessage, whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's nice.
Snap.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't have Snapchat, so I literally
Get a kinky Snapchat.
Kinky. We should. Get
I feel like
kinky
it's
Snapchat,
it's
babe.
be great in like a group setting too. If you're in like a polycule or if you're like
yeah.
swinging with other couples,
Yeah.
or if,
Interesting.
you're like with multi-partner
Yep. Yeah.
setting, I feel like that could be a really fun, easier way to share pictures too.
Oh, yeah. I
okay.
only snap
Yeah.
with our dominatrix friend. So,
Love that.
yeah.
Oh, hello.
I love a spicy snap.
10 tips to bring back the passion in your marriage. So tell me your personal opinion on these 10 tips.
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have 10 tips.
I have 10 tips.
Yay.
And we're going to chat them out real quick. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're off the hook. 10 tips to bring back the passion in your marriage. Okay. 1, change your pattern of how you initiate sex. Stop criticizing one another. Stop blaming things, outside conditions. Mix things up. End that power struggle. For example, try to find other ways to tell your partner that they're sexy, and try to stop demanding needs for closeness. Try to change up how you initiate the ways in which intimacy and sex happen. Thoughts?
I like the power dynamic one. We get so much feedback from women who are like, I want my man to be more dominant in the bedroom. And I'm like, are you being a good submissive in the bedroom? Because if you aren't giving him permission to have dominance, he's not going to take it.
In today's day and age, that's you have to hand that over.
It's a two-way. You have to be a good submissive if you want your partner to be a good dominant.
Yeah.
Because really, anybody who's in that sort of culture knows that the submissive really leads the experience.
Absolutely.
And the dynamic. And if you are, a badass bitch and you run your household and your partner just, but you want them to switch that role all of a sudden in the bedroom, but you either critique it or you don't give them permission or tease them.
Or sigh, or then in the middle of it take over and say, let me just do it.
Exactly. Yeah. You need to be a really good submissive for them to be. And that doesn't matter what gender you are. If you want your partner to be more dominant, you need to give them permission to be more dominant and become more submissive.
And be a better submissive.
Be the good partner.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's a two-way fucking street.
It is.
Do you think that writing out like a list of like yes, maybes and no's
I love that.
would kind of like help you get to a place where you can allow yourself to be more submissive?
I love that.
Yeah.
So in the
talking about it beforehand.
Or like a Venn diagram. We've already talked about the Venn diagram.
Love a Venn diagram.
Like these are no's, but everything in the middle are that kind of
hard limit, soft limit.
Yeah, but like I want to suck your toes. Okay, I don't want my toes sucked, but I don't mind a foot massage. Okay, that's in the Venn diagram.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes. And I liked the changing up your foreplay. I think that is so much fun to do different things. And so my husband and I tend to live on the kinkier side of things. Hey. I'm a sensory deprivation girly. I like that. Big fan. But recently we brought in some dice into our foreplay. That's roll the dice.
Fuck yeah.
Kiss me on my toes. Which honestly, he kept getting like,
my calf.
Yeah, he kept getting like ones that ended up with like oral sex every single time. I'm like, how do you keep getting these? But
they're weighted dice.
It was so playful. Like I think we lose that like playfulness.
Yes. Oh my gosh. When we were talking about this earlier, I kept thinking about like play is like the kind of bottom line here is like being able to just kind of like let go and have like a good fucking time and not think about taxes and
trust.
shit. Like,
right. When you can be playful,
completely,
and it was completely out of our wheelhouse of a typical kind of scene, and we've called it a scene from way before my Arya times, because that's a kind of a kink phrase, and of course we're rebranding it a bit, and it's more of an experience now with Arya, but we've always called them scenes. And so like a playful dice game was not like our thing. And it was so much fun. It was so much fun, and I was so ready to go, and finding different ways. I will say I was actually thinking about this, just kind of thinking about this podcast and like prepping and thinking about what have been my most erotic experiences with my partner. And oddly enough, the most erotic experiences was when we were like post-surgery and couldn't have sex.
So you have to be creative in how you can do things.
And we both wanted it so bad, but couldn't do it. But then wanted to please each other in different ways, because you can still orgasm, obviously. There's no bars against that. But that was like the slowest like lead up to different things. And like he's had a couple of surgeries. I had that hysterectomy. So there's like been some areas in our life that we couldn't have sex.
Yeah.
Right.
And that was the most erotic, sensual,
Yeah.
intimate,
Totally.
because we couldn't actually have
you
sex.
remove this
The pressure.
pressure
The
and this-
expectation.
yeah, exactly. And you just kind of give into the play, and you give into the foreplay, and the pressure is relieved, and you just sort of have this fun, back to basics. I feel like, and that leads into number 2: hold hands more often. According to research, hugging and holding hands releases oxytocin, which makes you feel more bonded to your partner. Also, the more oxytocin your body gets used to releasing during cuddling or hand holding sessions, the more it actually releases during orgasm. So the more oxytocin you allow into your brain on a regular basis, the more is available for you when you are actually releasing it during orgasm. And oxytocin reduces stress hormones, including cortisol, which are bad for your body. And then allowing tension to build is one of the other points that they make, which is what we just talked about. It doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm home, let's go fuck. It's like, you can text over the course of a week. Like, I can't wait. Like, we talked about this on another episode about planning sex and how that gets such a bad rap.
Better.
Yeah.
It's so much better
than like
rap.
spontaneous something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like, it's
totally.
so great to be like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you Friday.
Right.
Like, I cannot wait to lick your pussy on Friday. Like, I cannot wait to fucking dump honeydew.
I love a picture of a bed.
Oh yeah.
Like, no context, just a snap of the bed.
Yeah.
Like, we know what's gonna happen.
with a little
Saturday night.
handcuff on the
So
side.
good.
Allowing the tension to build actually it allows our brain to experience more pleasure because the reward takes time to resolve itself before we get it. It makes the sex more romantic as well. And then actually, experts say separate sexual intimacy from your routines. Plan your intimacy time. Really do. Take time to say, we got a box from Arya. We can't wait to open this. Saturday night, the kids are going to go to a babysitter and we're going to have 3 hours to play with our Arya box and explore it and see what we're going to do. And you should read this scene before Saturday, and I'm going to read this, and it's like you can plan out this amazing, beautiful, fantastic time, and carving time out of your day to spend with your partner, like really honestly giving your partner your attention.
Yes.
I think is something that is so untapped.
Yeah. Think about, and I know because we're just as guilty as everyone else, is that you and I are having a conversation. I'm talking, you're on your phone, then you have something to say, so you start saying what you want to say, I'm on my phone. And that's basically how we take turns talking. Is this back and forth with a cell phone in front of us.
Right. It's like we're multitasking with our partner when we should really be focused on not just asking how was your day? How would you do today? Like, because you're on your phone, you're not giving anyone your full attention. And your partner deserves and is worthy of your full attention.
Right.
And to not give that to them. And while we can talk about, whether or not that's a love language and you want to spend quality time, fuck that. Everyone deserves, everyone deserves respect and deserves to be, especially by the person who promised to give them respect.
Yeah. I feel like that's one of the highest forms of affection too, is just like your completely undivided attention.
Yeah.
Right. And like to know that you're listening to, and then to use what we talked about like later on in our time together to show that you were actually listening is like, wow, like you heard that. You care about that. That's really
cool. I
feel
so seen.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Focusing on affectionate touch. So not touch that has to lead to anything. Yeah. Not touch that has to be sexual in any way, but a massage, again, hand holding, making out that doesn't have to lead anywhere. Like an affectionate ass grab from time to time is really, really great. I think that we have gone so fast forward in our society of like, okay, hurry. Okay, the kids are going to be home. Okay, we have this much time before dinner. Okay, how as a parent, how do you carve out time to be affectionate with your partner, and how do you mitigate that? I mean, There are research studies that show parents who are affectionate with their partners in front of their children have children who grow up to become more emotionally mature adults. They also have shown that those children are also more highly educated, which is an odd correlation. And they also show that their children have better, more long-lasting relationships. Are you and your husband affectionate in front of your daughter?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We are very affectionate. I am very physically motivated, if that was not obvious. So I definitely, and I need full body hugs. Okay. Like I'm a full body hug person. And so I need those several times throughout the day.
Yeah. The 7-second hug is a great. I love them.
I love it. And then we do a lot of like the playful, like butt spanking.
Yeah.
Like she sees all of that.
Yeah.
And to her it's funny.
Yeah.
You know, spank mommy. And yeah, so it's a game to her. But affectionate touching is definitely, and kissing and we dance. We like to dance, and she likes to dance
so
too.
sweet.
So that is
Yeah.
helpful. But I mean, we have definitely made out in front of her.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't.
Well, isn't that weird how we always are like, don't show the kids, don't show
They
them,
see it on
or see
television.
them.
I would rather her see a healthy.
It
Right.
makes
Right.
so much sense
Yeah.
that parents that are more affectionate in front of their kids
Yes.
would have kids that are more affectionate and probably because I mean you're showing them like this is what love looks like.
Yes.
Right.
You know,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
it's not sitting on the other side of the room and not
Staring at your
touching.
phone.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and
Right.
if you're gonna have like a relationship model that you want your kids to follow, you want it to be voicing like communication and intimacy and like that openness too. It's because it's like if you're hiding it from them, then it becomes something that's like taboo.
They're like,
Yeah.
is that not good?
That's like
Should
a
I
no-no.
not do
Yeah,
that?
shameful. Yeah.
Exactly.
In social psychology, we talk about the how people mimic behaviors. There's people have learned behaviors that they watch from their parents, and these can be destructive, right? When you don't kiss your husband goodbye. I mean, again, John Gottman, men who kiss their wives goodbye live longer than
I
men.
would be offended.
I would fucking
Yeah.
absolutely
How dare you?
furious.
I know,
If you
like,
don't say I love you back,
Oh.
what the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
is your
Yeah.
problem?
And if it's
Right.
just a peck, I'm like, bring it back.
Yeah.
No. Let's get back
Get
in.
on
Where
back
are you
up in
going?
here? Where the fuck do you think you're
I
going?
know. If I try to leave without, she's all, where are you going?
Yeah.
do you did I
The
Do you
audacity.
hate? Do you hate me?
Are you on your way to a
I do it
divorce?
sometimes. I do it sometimes just to mess with her. I'll just be like, okay, bye, and she'll be like, what the fuck?
Excuse me?
Get back here and give me a kiss goodbye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right.
I
dare
think
you.
it's also important to show children that you also need time away from them.
Oh, yeah.
So like we're open about we take vacations without her.
I think that's
Like
good.
we'll go on date nights without
Yeah.
her.
Sure.
We'll shuttle her off to the grandparents.
You know, it's really interesting
and
how
just
I've
stay home
Yeah.
without her.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed different like friends. They parent differently, and I've noticed the friends that seem to have like the most adjusted and like well-behaved kids are the ones that are like go in the other room and play. Like
Yeah.
we're in here, mommy and daddy. You know, we're
Time.
having our time.
Yeah.
Go in the backyard. Like that's your time. This is our time.
I feel
And
like-
I feel like a lot of other ones that don't do that. It's like their kids control
Yes.
Yeah.
their entire
Definitely.
Yes. I've
day,
seen where
their life.
kids will put themselves between the parents.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if the parents are sitting together on the
Like
couch.
physically
and like
as well.
physically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Yeah.
if that's just not setting the
Right.
the
Yeah.
standard of
Right.
how
Right.
things are going.
And how do you create intimacy when you allow children to just run your entire life?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
lose that intimacy.
Yeah.
And that is such a problem. I feel
Right.
like for a lot of people who are married with children, they lose this idea of sexuality. One, because in our country, in this country, we have this Madonna complex of once a woman has a baby, she's no longer a sexual being.
Yeah.
When in actuality, yes, the fuck she is. How the fuck do you think she had a baby in the first place?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I was just gonna
Sex.
say, like, once people have children, I feel like that your relationship that led to that child in the first place gets really put on
Yeah,
the
you
back
can't
burner.
forget.
Right.
I
Right.
had taken
Oh, yeah.
a child study class in college, and this was like before I had a child, and it was talking about relationship satisfaction, how you're like peak relationship satisfaction when you first get together, like honeymoon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then it dips a little bit. Well, when you have children, it like dips dramatically.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And then when they reach their teen years, it dips even more.
Oh, really?
And then once they move out, it goes back up, but it's never at that same level. And I was
right,
like, then
okay.
why the fuck are we doing it?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
why are we having children? And
Yeah.
I will say, like, as someone who has a kid, it's hard. It is
Totally.
definitely.
Can only imagine.
You get into parent modes, where you're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And different seasons of your life of childbearing is difficult. I mean, obviously, when you have an infant, their needs are a lot higher. We're in a great season right now because she's 9.
Yeah.
And
She's becoming a little more independent.
oh yeah, she can get up by herself, make herself cereal. Like
She'd
I gotta
rather
sleep
do
in.
And she knows what she needs
she'd
to do.
rather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'd
Yeah.
rather pick out her own
Yeah.
clothes. She'd rather make her own cereal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You come and interrupt her and she's like,
Yes. And I'm definitely, people love sharing their bed with children, which is fine. There's different research back and forth on like what's great, what's not great. I don't want to impede on anybody's preferences, but if you do co-share, then carve out date nights away from your children.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like go
This is mommy and daddy's night.
Yeah, go rent a hotel just for
Yeah.
the day. Like you don't have to stay the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make your date night renting a hotel room to just hang out in a bed that doesn't have
Totally.
children.
yeah.
Skip dinner and a movie. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah, fuck
pricey.
that. Who
as
cares?
fuck.
It is.
Get
it is
brunch
so,
and
the
fuck in a
same-
hotel.
Yeah.
Bring your
Same
Arya
amount.
items. Stay in a
There you
hotel.
go.
You don't
Right.
even have to stay the night in a hotel.
Pick up a
Just
pizza.
Yeah.
Stay in a bed.
Get a 6-pack,
Away
get a
from
pizza,
children.
get your
Right.
Arya box, go to a hotel.
Yeah.
You're going to spend the same amount on a hotel that you would have spent on an expensive dinner. and a
Exactly.
movie, and
Yeah.
now you get to fuck.
Yeah, and then you
Yep.
can binge watch shows that your children don't
Right?
have control over. Yeah, it's great.
Absolutely.
and the children can't watch because you're like this, like Euphoria. You can't show
Yeah.
that to your.
Right.
I would also say I really highly recommend people in partnered relationships buy sex toys.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It is something that is easy to do because it is online and discreet. You can get things shipped to you in a white, like little Amazon-y looking.
Yeah.
And there's something for everybody.
Yeah.
There are seriously.
So many things in the world.
If you can think of it, it
It's
probably
the-
exists.
There's a cock cage, there's a ball leash,
yeah.
Yes.
but there's also just a little mini cock ring that
like a
vibrates.
lipstick vibrator.
Yeah.
Like
Lipstick vibrator.
they're so tiny, you can keep them in your purse.
Even lube that is like CBD has CBD in it that causes more blood flow.
We are a big fan
Oh
of
my
the CBD
God.
lube.
yeah, have you
Love
guys
a
tried
CBD lube.
Euphoria?
That's what I have in my bedside.
Oh my
gosh.
I'm upset. I have like 7 bottles because I
Yes.
don't want them
I
to
found
ever
that.
stop.
I actually found that, and I bought her some, and she was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
And for the listeners, because we get this comment quite a bit, is we can't use CBD because my spouse is in law enforcement, whatever.
It doesn't
Most
show up.
These are not.
No.
They're not THC derivatives.
Yeah.
And yeah, we get that feedback sometimes. It's like my partner can't use CBD.
CBD that's allowed
yes.
to be shipped over state lines has absolutely zero psychoactive
Also, if you're
properties
using
and
it-
will not show up in a.
If you're
drug.
using it topically, I doubt it would. Even if it had
Especially-
trace amounts of THC,
Especially
in
if
it,
you
know?
are the penis owner and
Yeah.
the
Yes.
vulva owner is the
Right.
one who is putting the topical on.
The vulva's a lot more absorbent.
Exactly.
Yeah, if that's
Exactly.
kind of your understanding, you're really missing out
Yeah.
on
Right.
how wonderful
Good
CBD products
Lord.
are.
right.
Yeah, I can't believe that changed a big part of our sex life when we found that.
It was amazing. It was waterfalls.
Yeah.
Insane amounts of joy. Couples who explore novel ways of being intimate together fare better in terms of maintaining passion and desire. According to a 2016 study conducted by Chapman University's David Frederick,
Love him.
We know him.
is my mentor. He found that women and men who reported feeling satisfied by their relationship and intimacy with their partners were more likely to report also using toys together, but also engaged in more intimate activities outside of toy use, including showering, cuddling, and scheduled date nights.
Yeah.
Love it.
Sometimes
Love
just taking
cuddling.
a shower together is just like fun. You don't have to have fun. You don't
So
have to
nice.
have sex in the shower. You can
Yeah.
just go like wash your hair and shit.
Absolutely.
Clothes.
Right.
Wet.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, God, love being wet. Research by the Kinsey Institute. Where's my horn on that? Love being wet.
Yeah.
Research by the Kinsey Institute in 2020 found that 47% of couples who used sex toys together experienced more frequent, regular sexual activity and were also more willing to explore new forms of sexual expression, which led to overall relationship satisfaction being higher than couples who did not use sex toys. And according to a 2019 survey by Bacchus, which is a leading sexual wellness brand, 60% of couples who reported using sex toys had better communication overall in their relationship.
Yeah.
Because you got to talk about how you use it.
Right.
Yeah. You got to give some feedback.
Yeah. So not just communication surrounding sex toy use or surrounding sexual fantasies, but people who use sex toys in their relationship have better communication about going to the fucking grocery store.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, because you're used to communicating.
Right.
Once you start communicating about sex, everything else is fairly easy to talk about.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's true.
A 2020 survey conducted by Love Honey, love them, unofficial sponsor, which is one of the largest online retailers of sex toys, revealed that almost 40% of married couples who regularly use sex toys together reported greater sexual happiness after 7+ years of marriage. The survey also indicated that sex toys helped keep their relationships exciting and fulfilling. Because in long-term relationships, especially after a certain amount of time, we can lose that spice, we can lose that pep, we can lose that excitement. And involving sex toys keeps that excitement alive. So, putting you on the spot, what do you think are some great sex toys, whether they be based in vulva play, based in penis play, or just sex toys like cards and dice? What do you think are some great sex toys for first-time sex toy vanilla, straight out of the box of Nebraska humans can use?
The wand.
Oh.
You have to have a wand. I have a wave.
Okay.
The OG, right?
Oh,
There we go.
It's a wireless though. So there's the wired one. And that thing, we use it all the time.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
You're talking
We use
about
it.
the like that looks like a massager, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
vibrant.
white. It's ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
There's so many more beautiful ones out there nowadays.
Yeah.
But
You're talking OG.
the OG, and we've had that for 7 years.
Okay.
You don't always
And
need
I
to
run
reinvent
her-
the wheel.
No, you're right. I mean, the wheel is great.
The wand is amazing.
Yeah.
Because it's so versatile. He can hold it. She can hold it. She can hold it. You can also use it on the guy. Like, base of the scrotum.
Oh, yeah.
Tip of the penis.
Oh, yeah.
Nipple play. I mean, and it's
The seam
so
that runs down the
wonderful.
backside of the
It's
penis
so
is so much
comfortable.
sensitive to.
like, because a little wand knowledge for you want a nice head, a bigger bulb on
Yeah.
it. I've
Yeah.
seen some smaller wands. I do like the Emoji Baiter mini wand.
Yeah.
I like that for edging because it's kind of smaller and so it really gets you there. But
Yeah.
like, I need a big wand to kind of finish me out.
Right.
Yeah.
Not a penis joke. And so yeah, wand. If you don't have anything else, if you're a vulva owner, have a wand.
Okay.
I honestly think that is just because you have to insert it. And so many people are really sensitive to penetrating toys.
Yeah.
Plastics are really hard. They've gotten a lot better with some of the softer like silicones
Yeah.
that are more body feeling and whatnot. But if you have any sort of pain or whatever,
Yeah.
a wand will get you there.
Yeah.
Any
Great clitoral stimulation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't even talk.
And
more.
aren't there
Wand.
like more statistics about it's harder for women to orgasm from penetration alone?
Oh yeah, only
Yes.
13% of women.
Right.
13 or is it 19?
It's
Depending on what study you
depending
Yes.
on what
I
study
was
you
going to
look
say
at.
16, but
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
According to Lori Mintz, who is my go-to,
Yeah.
and her study, it is 13% of women can
Wow.
regularly.
Regularly.
That's when
is the key
when
word.
I heard that stat, I was like, fucking liars.
yeah.
God.
Yeah. can regularly orgasm from penetrative vaginal sex alone.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
when you combine sex toy use, almost 90% of women can orgasm from penetrative sex with a sex toy brought into play, because most women need clitoral stimulation or outer stimulation, even if it's clitoral or labial stimulation, in order to achieve orgasm. That's not to say penetrative sex doesn't feel good.
Yes.
It does.
And that's what I like about the wand. You can do both at the same
Right,
time.
exactly.
So you're not replacing anything. You guys are
And
partners. You're friends in the bedroom. Penis and wand friendship.
And that gets you into different positions too.
And tell me that a little vibration while you're going to
it's
Pound
great.
Town doesn't feel great on
it-
the penis.
That's why I really like the cock rings.
I love the cock rings.
The vibrating cock rings. Yeah.
I also just like the ones that don't, that just stretch all around and make everything kind of like
Engorged.
and
Yeah.
harder. And what I've been told from the feedback that I get from my product testing partner is he doesn't have to think as much about staying erect when
Yeah.
he has.
wow.
Yeah, and I'd never thought of that.
That's
Like
so-
I'm like, how
I've
much are you
never thought
thinking about staying hard? He goes, you kind of have to maintain some sort of thought of.
To like not blow your
Fascinating.
Or
wad.
to like keep it consistently hard, because when you're doing longer half hour, 45 minutes, 2 hours, 3 hours sessions,
Yeah.
it ebbs and flows,
Right.
And it's not going to
That's
stay
why
rigid.
Viagra is your friend.
Yes, and
in those situations.
or a cock ring,
Right.
and so like the silicone ones, we'll like wrap them, triple wrap them,
Well, because
around
it-
the scrotum and
you
the
can
face,
get this.
both.
You get the blood in when you get
Yeah.
erect, and then you wrap it, and then it keeps it from flowing out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, I just don't have to think as much. I can just
Think
enjoy
about
the
pleasure.
I can
Yeah.
just experience. Yeah.
And not think about
And
maintaining.
I think that creates a little more girthiness too.
Yeah.
Love a girth.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Love a girth.
Yeah.
That's
so,
crazy. I've never
That's
thought
an
about
And these
interesting
are the
them that
things
way.
you learn.
Yeah.
I had never, because I don't have a penis, so I don't
Yeah.
know
Right.
what
Right.
they're dealing with.
Same. Let's say you are newly married.
Okay.
You are, you've grown up in a very rural town. You have never had sex education, and you are looking for something you can order online that will ignite a conversation and also be safe to talk about with your partner. What do you think is a great tool in that regard?
Oh my goodness. I love an intimacy deck.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm a huge fan of them. I will say, so of course I have to get an Arya plug, does have an intimacy deck in one of our scenes. But another brand that I really like is The End.
Okay.
And they have a few different levels of ones. They have more connective ones. They have more like friskier, but they're all deep, meaningful sort of questions. And I love an intimacy deck. I like how playful it is.
Yeah.
And that you're not really having to come up with things to talk about on your own.
Again,
'Cause that's really hard.
letting go of that onus, right?
Yes.
Letting go, like letting Arya take the fall.
Yes.
Letting your dreams take the fall.
Right.
Letting the intimacy deck lead your conversation.
Right.
You didn't come up with this question.
Right? I didn't need to. I didn't
Right.
need to ask you about your secret desire.
What do you fantasize about? I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah. And touching each other in non-sexual ways where the pressure isn't to have sex, but touching each other's genitals, not in the focus to have sex.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So this was one actually my husband introduced me to, because
Okay.
I had never even thought about just holding somebody's balls
Okay.
just while
Yeah.
we're hanging out.
Yeah.
Just holding them.
Yeah.
She will do that sometimes.
Actually, it's one of my
I will
favorite
do
things
that
is
too.
to play stick shift and drive the car.
She pretends my dick is like a
Well, this
first
is
gear,
like,
second gear.
well, we're just watching a movie or something together. I'll just hold it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's
okay.
we're not, I mean,
I
things-
sleep with my hand on her tit. every
Yeah,
night.
exactly.
Facts.
Yeah.
So touch each other's genitals,
Yeah.
not just for sex.
Yeah.
It's either on her
Like-
boobs or her booty.
Yeah.
Cup her vulva.
Yeah.
Cup the vulva.
Oh, yeah.
Just
It's
hold your
such a
hand
nice,
there.
and it's also it's usually this beautiful.
It's very ergonomic.
It's very ergonomic. Thank you.
It's like it's made for cupping.
Right.
Kind
Right.
of
really
feels
is.
like it is.
Yeah.
And it's warm and
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
soft.
Don't stroke each other.
No.
Just
no.
hold each
rouse.
other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just hold each other's. I know we talk a lot about non-sexual touching, but I think people avoid non-sexual touching in their sexual areas.
I agree.
And I think that's a great way to connect, is just
That's a really
hold his balls.
fucking fantastic.
I'm a big fan of cock warming as well.
Warming? What the fuck
Where you
is
just
that?
hold it in the mouth, like
Oh,
while
wow.
you're watching a TV show or something.
What?
Obviously, we watch a lot of TV shows, and you just hold
This is a
it,
great idea. I love this.
and you're not doing anything.
It's like one of those cup warmers that you put on your desk that
Yeah.
keeps your
Yeah.
coffee warm.
Yeah.
But it's like you're just,
and you can
it's
just
your
hold
mouth.
it, and
Yeah.
they can do it for the females can do it on each other,
Yeah.
males can do it on each other,
Yeah.
everybody can do it. You can just hold your partner's genitals in your mouth without
Moving.
sex. Or
Yeah.
it's just affection.
Yeah.
It's just affection.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I
Cock warming.
fucking love that. I am literally blown away right now. I
Yeah.
did not expect that, and
Yeah.
Not
I
at
have
all.
I have sat through a
What are we
2-hour
watching
long
tonight?
movie
I love that.
with just
You're just
putting
just
this,
yeah,
just
and
a
he's
dick
like,
in
don't
my mouth.
move. You don't need to move.
No.
I don't want to come.
No.
I just hold it.
just hold it.
Yeah.
Right where it is.
Like, okay.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Warm and safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Warm and safe. I love that. I absolutely love that. Okay. So we are going to wrap it up. And I will go ahead and give you the stat of the day before we end our
Yes.
time together. Thank you, Mia, my wingman. who's- I asked you what % of people in relationships report that they use music to set the mood for intimacy. I am so proud to report that you won.
Really?
You did.
She went over?
She went over by one.
No
Oh my
fucking
God.
way.
Thank God.
I lowballed it.
Wow.
I just want to push Mia off the end of the couch
Damn it.
sometimes because she fucking gets it.
I won
every-
like the last 6 in a row, so
Right.
that's okay.
And
I'll give it to
she
you.
only came out, it was 82%?
72%.
Or 72.
I had said 73, and you
said-
said 70, and Athena said 58.
Out of here.
Yeah.
I only won because she went over by one.
Wow. On a technicality.
No, it's not a technicality. It's the rules. Price is right.
I know, but
It's the rules. Baby,
Mia
I'm
is
so,
so
proud
good
of
at
you.
this.
I'm so proud of you. Applause to you. My love. Yeah, where's your applause?
Nice.
to myself.
I just absolutely fucking love you, Athena.
Thank you.
Yeah, this was
you
great.
Love you so
inspire me
much.
to make
I
better
hope I give you
playlists.
so many cool ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The cock warming is something I'm going to be doing from now on, and while I'm watching.
You're welcome.
We're
very
gonna
welcome.
Watch Euphoria and do that.
Hold his balls in my mouth. I really think that it's important that we understand that people who listen to this podcast aren't necessarily kinky, and they need some basic place to start. And I think that Arya is an incredible place to start.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There is something for everyone.
There really is.
And
Sign up
yeah, sign
as
up,
soon as you listen to this.
please.
Use our code.
And remember, you get
WYP
they
15.
do a little bit of research to figure out
Yeah.
where they want to
Where
start
you should
or-
start.
Right.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't
So you're
just
not going to go straight
No.
into something that's like really kinky.
No, you're not going to start out with candles and
Yeah.
whips and
Right.
blindfolds.
BDSM is not for you.
You don't
Right.
get that box.
You don't have to.
Yeah,
You won't
you
get
don't get that.
BDSM.
Right.
Remember, they will give you a little bit of a quiz, and then
Yeah.
and it's short, it's easy, straightforward,
Yeah.
and then they're
And
like,
it's all
okay,
confidential.
It's,
Yeah.
and it's beautiful. And I think that it's really important to remember that if you want your relationship to thrive, and if you are feeling like you are missing that connection to your partner, intimacy, non-sexual intimacy, closeness, vulnerability, romantic gestures, oxytocin release in cuddling and
Yeah.
snuggling, these are all things that you can do on a regular basis. And it
Eye
just,
contact.
it just
like,
takes one of you.
Yeah.
It just takes
Yeah.
one of you to
Right.
start it. It's one brave person. It might feel uncomfortable about the beginning, but I promise you it pays off at the end. Athena, do you want to plug anything before we go?
I will say, just remember too, it's being brought to you by real people who are in real relationships, who have children and are living the lives that you are living, and trying to just maintain that intimate sexiness with their partner.
I think
And we're here for you.
I think that's a
Fuck
really
yeah.
important part. It's not just some corporation that's trying to
No.
make money and
No.
that is like
Absolutely
some
not.
corporate
Yeah.
head and like how can we make more money?
No.
It's actually like
real
tailored,
humans. Yeah. Tailored by real people.
but like the
Test
object
right,
is
Athena.
pleasure,
Care
right?
about your sex lives. I
Right.
just want you
Yes.
to have great sex.
Have better sex, y'all. We love you so much. Follow us on Instagram at What's Your Position Podcast. We have a website, what'syourpositionpodcast.com. We love you so fucking much. If you need anything or have any questions, reach out. We're always here for you. And as always, my humans, stay safe, stay kind, and stay sexy.
The nights were made
What's Your Position podcast represents the opinions of Ashley Weller and her guests. The content here should not be taken as medical advice and is intended for education and entertainment purposes only. Views and opinions expressed in the podcast are our own and do not represent that of our places of work. While we make every effort to ensure the information we are sharing is accurate, we welcome any comments, suggestions, or correction of error. Stay safe, stay kind, and stay sexy.